Hello there everyone and welcome back to another video here on the Theme Park Jack YouTube channel. Today we're carrying on with doing the updated roller coaster reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing Icon. But before we get into today's video though, please remember to subscribe if you haven't done already, and please leave a like on today's video. I've left the links to my shop, website and social pages in the description, but we're just going to get straight into this review. Okay then, so we're going to go through a full POV of the video in a second, and I'll talk about the parts of the ride that I like and don't like. But before that though, I'm just going to give you the stats of the ride. So obviously it opened on the 25th of May 2018. I was there on the 26th of May to go and ride it. The length of the ride is 3,750 feet, so for the space you've got it is actually quite a long coaster. It's got a height of 88.5 feet, a drop of 82 feet, a speed of nearly 53 miles an hour. Just the one inversion, although I will class the Immelman as a second inversion as well, but technically it has just got the one. It's got a duration of 2 minutes 41 seconds and a G-force of 4.3. Unfortunately, both the first and second launches on this ride are really weak. Mack Ride's launches are never intense, they're just to get you from A to B with enough speed, not to actually give you excitement or intensity, which is a shame, but you just need to put your expectations right before you go in there, because that's what you need to expect. Don't expect an Intamin launch or any other manufacturer's launch like a Vekoma or an S&S launch at all. It's nothing like that. These are a lot weaker and they're just a bit of a speed boost. The top hat that follows is the best part of the ride in my opinion. You get absolutely launched out of your seat, and the drop that follows is great as well because you're still out of your seat then too. This is the best airtime on the ride, and it's probably one of the best airtime moments on any roller coaster in the UK. The non-inverted loop is really weak in my opinion. It's nowhere near as steep as I think any of us thought it would be, so it kind of ruins the effect on it, to be honest. I'd have just kept that out of it if I was designing the ride, and then it'd have a lot more speed for the twisty section. The twisty section is just one big missed opportunity for loads of airtime in my opinion. These twists and turns could have been really good, but because the speed of the ride has been completely killed off by this point, it just really meanders round it, so the effect of it is just all gone. It's a bit weak, to be honest, this part of the ride, and it just feels like a family coaster. Either they should have taken the non-inverted loop out of the ride before doing this, or they should have just replaced this ride completely and got some airtime out of it. But the little twists and turns as they are don't really make much sense in my opinion. Part of the ride that I do really enjoy though is the inline twist that follows. This is definitely one of the most intimidating parts of the ride for people, and if you're really up for it and want to get some hang time, stick your arms in the air as you go through that and you'll really enjoy it. I would probably go as far as saying that that is the best moment of hang time that I've ever experienced on a roller coaster. It is absolutely great. After the inversion, there's an S-bend element before you drop off into the second launch. That drop into the second launch is absolutely brilliant, and you do get some great airtime wherever you sat on the ride. The machine's turned on, you go through a big cloud of mist before getting a speed boost on the second launch. Whilst it's better than the first one, it's still nothing special. The Immelman that follows is one of the most iconic parts of Icon, and it is very good. You actually managed to get some airtime on there as well, so make sure you put your arms in the air as you go through it. The two overbank turns that you go into next are actually really good, as they're taken at quite a good speed. You then go into an awesome ejector Airtime Hill. Now, do I think these elements could have been taken even faster? Yes I do, because I think the drop after the Immelman is actually quite shallow, and it is a bit of a design error in my opinion that it didn't go down closer to the ground. But still, I'm not moaning about that part of the ride, because it is taken at quite a good speed. Following the awesome ejector speed hill, you then go into a helix quite fast, before twisting out into an overbank turn that goes over the queue line. After this the ride really starts to die out in my opinion. There's nothing really exciting past this point. There's a bunny hop that really doesn't give you any airtime, and then some turns that really do nothing in my opinion. The only good part of it is that there's some really good interaction between the train, Icon, the Big Dipper and Infusion, but other than that there's nothing really special to this last bit at all, and it's going really slow towards the end, and it just kind of meanders into the brake run. It slows very quick on the brake run, they barely need any brakes to slow it down at all. So the whole theme of the ride is basically based around something that Amanda Thompson said that she dreamt about one night. And don't get me wrong, the ride looks perfectly modern and perfectly fine and perfectly clean around the area, and it is perfectly okay. You know, I'm not saying it looks ugly by any means, because it doesn't, but I think when you're trying something like a Japanese theme, you either got to do it properly or not do it at all. And I'll be honest, they really like Japanese theming around there. It doesn't really look right, to be honest. And I think going with something where they could have got away with a lot less theming, a storyline, maybe something like a mythical creature, would have worked a lot better than the Japanese theme did. It's not something that you can just dump a few things in the area and it really looks right, and it just don't make a lot of sense to me. Now don't get me wrong, I understand it's an amusement park and they're never going to theme the rides heavily. That's okay, no one's asking them to, but I do think the name icon and the theme of it is a bit weak, and I'll be honest, I think that's why they found it a lot more difficult to advertise and marketing than Wicker Man. So then, some of my final thoughts on Icon. I don't think it's a bad ride at all. I think it's actually very good, and I think it's one of the best roller coasters in the UK, without a shadow of a doubt. How does it compare to roller coasters further afield though and overseas? I'll be honest, it does look like it is one of the weakest Mack launch coasters that they've ever made. When I went on it, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it and I was really hyped up for this ride. So I went on it and I got off it having absolutely loved the coaster, but I don't know, it never just really absolutely blew me away, and I don't think it's ever really blew anyone away, to be honest, this ride. I think there are some things that could have been changed and could have been done better with it, but overall it is still a very good ride. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7 or an 8, so it is a very good coaster, but some things like, for example, the twisty section after the non-inverted loop, they could have changed that to include a lot more airtime, rather than some twists that, since they're taken at such a slow speed anyway, give absolutely no force or enjoyment really at all. The non-inverted loop I would have taken out as well. Please do comment your thoughts on the ride down below. I'd be really interested to see them actually, as it is quite a controversial ride, Icon is. Thank you for watching this theme park chat video. The links to my social pages, shop and website are in the description, and I'll see you in the next video coming very soon.